me and Paul had gone out. We met up with Dimitri and Lindsay, who had just started dating, and a few of the other guys were there. And we met Dawn, and the whole night I kept saying, Paul, go talk to her, go talk to her. And he was like, stop, I don't like the pressure. And the whole ride home, I kept saying, you should ask her out, you should ask her out. And Paul said, if you don't stop, I'm going to make you walk the rest of the way. But I knew, and I was determined to have them go out at least once, because I knew they would be a good match for each other.
We went out on a date, and Paul's theory behind it is, he said, well, one date, what's it going to do? It's not going to hurt anything.
What's going to hurt, yeah.
All right, she have pretty hair?
She does.
You can tell, you can do it however you want.
Dawn as a person has the biggest heart that probably anyone I know.
Very warm-hearted, kind. She'll do anything for anyone.
Oh, I have your ball over there. You want me to go get it so I can show it to you? Your kissing ball? Okay.
She'd give you her shirt off her back if you need it.
Is it that like pink thing with the like?
Yeah, that's what you're gonna carry and
I
have
think I saw it.
Do you like it? Isn't it pretty?
She just wants to make everyone happy, and I think she puts everyone else in front of her sometimes, which is not good.
It's just that's her, and she just generally likes to make people happy and cares about her friends and her family that much. I mean, she didn't want to sit down. She was waiting for everyone else to get ready.
You need to start your hair.
Now?
Yes. Now.
I guess that'll make sense. It'll finish.
Start now.
Okay. Being a monitor. She's like, start now. I got yelled at because I wasn't getting my hair done on time.
Dawn was a good child. As far as whining and crying over everything.
She used to always get on me about keeping her hair cut real short because she did a lot of athletics and she'd sweat real bad, so I kept her hair short. She or Dawn would always say, you do that because you wanted a boy. You're trying to make me look like a boy.
She could wear it anyway and she'd be pretty. Yeah, she don't like you say that, but I say it honestly. It's just amazing to see how, how she's grown up. And she was that little girl.
But I also got him a watch and cufflinks. So he's getting it today.
And now for the final gift. This is the best.
Cufflinks?
As we all know, Paul's a movie buff.
No. No way.
And I got him Darth Vader Star Wars cufflinks.
I don't have action figures or anything like that, but anymore. My gifts are somewhat meaningful, but they're not like this. I mean, I'm not as creative as she is, which is kind of a little annoying for me because she does all these like things, and I'm like, man, I should have thought of that. She definitely, without a doubt, in my mind, makes me feel loved. I know that she does. I mean, she's shown it in many ways.
Paul is the cutest dork in the world. I love him to death, and when I say dork, it's because he loves all of these dorky sci-fi shows. On another note, he's just the sweetest person.
All right.
He grew up as a boy. He did not have a fear. He would jump out of anything. He had no fear, and that was, scary to us.
Question, you have to turn in towards Paul just a little bit.
Paul himself is a very caring, loving person.
Are you usually the troublemaker?
Not me.
No.
I would say he's sensitive. He doesn't want people to know, I don't think. He acts like he's kind of tough.
I like Paul. I really like Paul. And I was in the hospital one year, and he came all by himself one night to see me, and I thought that was wonderful.
Well, I'm sure a lot of us close friends know, but he's very reliable. If you need Paul for anything, he'll be there for you. So.
All right, I need to make sure I can see everybody. So.
That's right, Dawn is married all of us.
One of the main reasons I love him is because he's the most trustworthy, honest person.
He's honest, very honest guy. Sometimes, he's make me a little bit.
He can rub people the wrong way sometimes. That's because he's blunt. But I love that about him. I love the fact that, you know, if I need a laugh, I can call Paul. And he's probably done something really stupid.
This past week, Paul gives me a phone call on Monday, and he's huffing and puffing. And I'm like, what happened now? He's like, oh my God. He's like, I almost burned the house down. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I came home to a door full of gifts, and being the kid in the candy store that he is, he was so excited to open the first big box that he opens it up and lays it on the stove, and at the same time turns the stove on. So he's sitting there unwrapping the other gifts, and 5 minutes later he hears a little crackling noise. And he turns and from something like, you know, with some Queen's English, I won't say, and runs for it. So long story short, he saves the day, and my gift lived.
She's always creepy. That wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
And he told me so many times, Mom, if you ever move from, you know, the house, if you buy another house, you make sure to have one extra bedroom. He wanted to stay with us until then. But now,
Until he met
until,
Don.
you know, yeah, he's met Don.
I'm going okay. I think my nervousness is starting to hit a little bit as I'm doing my hair and then my makeup, and we'll see.
This is the biggest day of Dawn's life. Like I said, she's that kind of girly girl that the wedding day is the biggest day of her life. I think everything's going to be perfect.
And then Katie's been watching the schedule. Everyone's been helping out, so it's been good. If they weren't here, I don't know what I would do.
I think your hair looks good just like that. And every bridesmaid is gorgeous too, so what can I say? Yeah, she's been with those girls in there for bad times and good times. And she's always supported them.
Walk around and just get a snippet of each bridesmaid. You will realize that we are all completely different, very different. And that's the best thing about Dawn. I don't know how she does it, but she's always had very close relationships with very different types of people, and I think that just speaks to the kind of person she is. She's like a chameleon, I guess.
When Dawn started the journey of her wedding, I remember her saying, so I think we're gonna have 10 bridesmaids. Do you think that's crazy? And I just giggled and said, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Your bridesmaids wanted to give you a little something. Oh my God. So this is from all of us. I remember it was during the early 2000s, so she had, you know, all of the fashionable clothes and the frosted lipstick, and she was just cool, you know. And not only was she cool, but she was sweet and she was personable and she, you know, cared about you as a person. So, you know, I was just immediately drawn to her, and we just hit it off and have been friends ever since. Aww! No, that's so pretty.
Nothing has ever seemed like unnatural about our friendship ever. It's just always, she just feels like a sister.
It's gorgeous. Oh, I love that.
Thank you guys. You didn't have to do that.
Hanging out with all these ladies, I stand up here knowing that I may be making this speech, but there are at least 10 other women can stand up here and give the same speech.
You have like an entourage.
Yeah. They're all very different, and they all make me feel better. A lot of people have asked me if I've been nervous at all about getting married. Not at all. Am I nervous if the tablecloths are going to match the flowers? Yes.
I don't think it was nervous as much as she kept trying to come up with more stuff to do for herself. She's like, what if we did this? And what about this? And we're like, stop. You're done. You have to stop. So it's funny.
She needs everything to be perfect, if not close to it.
There is just so much thought put into every little detail.
Oh, you look so pretty. Your hair looks good like that. Don't you love it?
She said, I know.
Looks so
No,
pretty.
It does. When Dawn was 2 years old, you could give her a coloring book, and she could color in all the lines so professionally it looked like at least a 10-year-old coloring. She's just always been super talented with crafts, making things.
Yeah, that's so good. All right, look at that color. Look at that color. I think you're gonna like it a lot better. Oh. Yeah, much better. Yeah.
She designs things. I mean, her shoes for the wedding, she designed them online and had them made.
Beautiful. Do you want me to show you the flowers? Yeah, if you don't mind. Oh, they look good.
There's lots of pink for the wedding, and I'll have to say that I've been very particular about the shades of pink, to the point that it's even annoyed me.
Here we got pink ties, pink vests, pink socks.
Big smiles.
The Paul that I had known years ago before Dawn probably would never have worn pink socks.
When I told him yesterday I was ordering pink umbrellas, not so happy.
I told her this one day is the only day that she gets to put everything in pink, and you know, if she wants me in an all pink tux, I'll go ahead and wear that just for one day.
He thinks I'm crazy, but...
Yeah, she's crazy.
Sacalario. But Paul says I put the accent on the wrong letter. You better learn that accent. Sacalario.
All right, look straight and look at me. Congratulations, you're gonna be married.
So in a
Love you.
Don't try.
I know. Stop it. Okay, sweetie. Beautiful.
But how does it feel that for the last month we've tied bows upon bows, we've glued, we've wrapped, we've cut for this beautiful occasion, and finally today, you've tied your last knot.
I've been calling him all week. You ready? You ready? You know, you ready? He's like, absolutely. I can't wait to marry Dawn. You know, so he's been very excited about today.
I slept well last night, so it's been a lot of prepping, a lot of planning. So I'm looking forward to it. I have no idea what her dress looks like, her hair, nothing.
It's hard for me to see her in a wedding dress and walking down the aisle with me, because I kind of choked up a little bit last night during the rehearsal, just having her on my arm and knowing that I was going to be giving her away today.
As soon as Dawn came down the aisle, you could tell that he was just happy and enjoying every minute of it.
I sent a text message yesterday to Dawn and Paul, and I said, I know what it's like to marry your best friend, and I'm so happy for you guys that you all get to experience that, and I know that Dawn is marrying her best friend in the world.
Paul, do you take Dawn to be your wedded wife, to love and to cherish until death do you part?
I do.
Dawn, do you take Paul to be your wedded husband, to love and to cherish until death do you part?
I do. His godbrother was dating my sorority sister. I came home.
I said, hey, you should really meet this guy Dimitri that I'm dating and his friends. They're a fun group of guys.
It was kind of almost a setup. I don't think he was expecting it.
And I think it was kind of awkward for them to be meeting, like in front of everybody like that, but it seemed like maybe all of Paul's friends were like, hey, this is Dawn.
And right away, she really, really liked him. And you could tell, because I've seen her talk about other boys before, but...
She said, I really like Paul. And I said, you need to check out MySpace. This was before MySpace was kind of skeevy, but we went on there and I showed her how it worked. And she started building her profile, and she's going to kill me for telling you this, but when I woke up the next morning to go to work, she was still up working on her profile and making sure she had just the right headshot and just the right song and everything else. So Dimitri was trying to push Paul, and I was trying to help steer Dawn and give her information. It's typical stuff that you do when you're trying to hook two people up that you think would be great for each other.
When we started dating, he wasn't looking for a relationship, and I think things moved very quickly. I'm one of those people, he teases me, he says that I sold him on the relationship because I'm in sales.
We started getting together, and I, slowly realized the more Dawn and I spent time together, the more I realized that, we were meant to be together, and we finished each other's sentences all the time, and it's definitely been a great 3.5 years.
It is not good that man should be alone on the earth. Let us make a helper fit for him. And taking one of his ribs, you formed woman. And when Adam saw her, he said, this at last is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of her man.
I definitely feel like I'm a better person with Dawn than I am without her.
Dawn really brings out the good qualities of Paul. Paul has a lot of bad qualities.
He come home on the couch and he just watches his TV because he loves his movies and his video games. And his dad one time walked in and says, Paul, you're just like Rocky. And Rocky was Paul's dog. And he says, you come home, you sit on the couch and you wait to be fed, and then you go to sleep.
We also want to thank you for finding a way to get Paul off his couch and to help you with his daily household chores. Yes, folks, he has now learned how to boil water.
People could describe me as a donkey. I'd describe Paul as a mule. You know, once you whip him a few times, he'll get going. You have to crack the whip once or twice.
My laid-back attitude kind of filters through to other aspects like work and stuff like that. So it definitely tries, you know, to be more ambitious.
Take the initiative, take cooking classes, and learn how to cook. And he's doing the laundry. And
he would do anything for Dawn just to see her happy, and even though it makes him look like a dork or whatever.
He loves to do those things for Dawn, because that's how much he cares about her.
Do you now, O Master, stretch out your hand from your holy dwelling place from on high, and join this, your servant Dawn, to this, your servant Paul, for by you is woman joined to man. For yours is the dominion, the kingdom, the power, and the glory, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and forever, and to the ages of ages.
And when Paul and I met, he was very particular about being married in the Greek church. And as much as he says that he didn't know if he was ready to get married, he definitely made that clear early on in our relationship.
And I couldn't be more proud of Dawn baptizing herself into the Greek church and the community.
I think the Greek community is very closely knit. So you have your godmother, and then all of your godmother's family becomes your family. So now it's not just your family, but it's their family. What ends up happening is everyone's very closely connected, so you have a huge support system behind you.
Everybody knows each other, it's just, one unite group of people just really having a good time and celebrating the events.
The handmaid of God, Dawn, is crowned to the servant of God, Paul, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
It's so official and it's so important to him. It's such a part of him that for her, it was so much becoming doing this with him and them doing it together was really important. So you could see that she really did become part of this, and it wasn't so much, he's Greek and I'm marrying a Greek boy. It was now we're doing this together. So
the service itself is pretty standard. So if you see one Greek wedding, you'll see that process over and over again. But you won't see us wearing Adidas shoes like Paul got for us, which was awesome.
Paul's been in a bunch of weddings and his feet always hurt, so this is what he's done to make our day a little easier.
And I figured, everyone's got to stand up in the altar for 40 minutes, might as well be comfortable, so.
We have a tight circle of male friends who have grown up in our cathedral. Since I've now been here for 15 years, I have seen them mature to a point. They have definitely stepped up the majority of the time. Although, as was mentioned last evening, at times they appear as 8-year-olds trapped in a 30-year-old body. But that's okay. Males need to have a little kid in them.
Put your hand on the shoulder in front of you.
Jordan, I'm the tight end. We got to get down this line.
Who's the 49ers quarterback?
Exactly. And my friends, we've known each other for 20 plus years, so I would not trade any of them for anything in the world. I love them to death.
Our families moved from Greece, they moved here, they became friends, and then after they became friends, they had all of us, and we've just carried that on. So, and I'm sure when we start having kids, they'll all be friends as well. So,
I've been in everyone's wedding in that room who's gotten married, and I'm sure they're like to be in mine.
We're always joking around. I mean, that's the main thing. We're all just keeping each other happy and stuff. So they're all like a big brotherhood. So
Congrats, dude.
Bless their goings out and their comings in. Grant them a life full of all good things. Take up their crowns into your kingdom and preserve them undefiled, blameless, and beyond reproach to the ages of ages. Amen.
And I see the way that she looks at Paul. I see the way Paul looks at her. And there really is a good love connection between the two.
You know, they have their ups and downs just like any relationship. Distance was a big, roadblock that they had to get over. She was in Baltimore and he was in Richmond. You know, they pushed through and they made it work. And
I think that going into a marriage, already having gone through those battles and those difficulties, they're already starting off at a strong marriage.
I actually saw, I don't know if this sounds weird, but I actually saw a lot of what I feel with Dawn as a sister. I saw a best friend in Paul to her, and I think that means the world to her.
Paul and Dawn, we wish you the best that life has to offer and God's blessings upon you.
I don't know if it's a particular time period, but there were certain things that I saw him starting to do for her. You know, Dawn has very high expectations of herself and what life should bring, and we always wondered, how is he going to propose that would mean something to her? And he hit the nail on the head.
We had dinner and we came back to the house. He told me that he had something for me. So I sat down on the couch and Paul comes in and he has this scrapbook and it has a Superman S on the front of it. And he's like, I made this for you. It's a S for Sacalario, for a new last name.
She goes out and does like all these like elaborate scrapbooks for everybody. I mean, she puts together the most amazing scrapbooks.
I don't know where it started, but scrapbooking seems to be Dawn's love language.
And that's why I think Paul chose to do this for her, because she's always doing this for other people and nobody's ever made one for her. And obviously it's something that she wants because she would think that someone else would want it.
I was like, oh my gosh. So he gives me the scrapbook and he tells me it's a journey of our relationship. And I start looking through it. Well, it's all these pictures of us since we had started dating, and I get halfway through the scrapbook and I'm like, what's at the end of this journey? So I start going faster and faster. And on the last page, there was my ring, and he was down on one knee, and he asked me to marry him. I started crying. I said yes, and he was teary-eyed, and we look at each other, we give each other a hug and kiss, and we look at each other, and both of us say, what do we do now?
Paul, you may kiss your lovely wife.
I'm a Baptist. We have it sweet and short, where hers wasn't. But it was a beautiful wedding, beautiful church. And I thought Dawn looked beautiful, and I think Paul is a sweet, sweet guy.
Ευτυχία και τίποτα άλλο. Αγάπη, συνεννόηση, να έρθει το ζευγάρι, αγάπη, αγάπη, αγάπη.
Love, love,
She's
love.
very
She's
happy
very happy and
and,
exciting,
wish
you know.
him happiness and
And
long life
together,
with
you
good
know.
family.
It's a good family.
Tadiva. I love all of you very, very, very much. And thank everyone for coming today. I love you guys.
Yeah, you love you.
I love you.
The band stuff got just wrecked, like soaked. They might be able to dry it off and play, I'm not sure, but we can't do intros or anything until the DJ plugs back in.
It's raining, but they say rain brings good luck on your wedding day, so since it's pouring, you're gonna have lots and lots of luck.
Look good, look good. Look, crying is gonna do nothing right now.
Good. Dawn is stopping and everybody's having a great time. I'm serious.
He doesn't sweat the small stuff. And whereas I think I probably do.
That's the good thing about Paul. He tells her to let the small stuff go, and that's why they're so good for each other.
He keeps telling me, I don't know why you need all of these things, but as long as I get to marry you, it shouldn't matter, you know. I don't know, I think I've always been the biggest wreck about stuff before I probably met him, and now it just, I don't know, it just makes me feel better.
The main reason we're having the reception in the gardens is because when Dawn was little growing up, before it was Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens, it was just Lewis Ginter's house.
Back during the middle 80s, there wasn't much over here. So we would always bring Dawn over and let her play and romp and run and do what she wanted to do here.
I would go there with my parents growing up, my dad, and I'd always say, this is where, you know, I want to get married.
She wasn't able to get married here, but she got the other part, the fun part. And that's what's going on tonight, the fun part. Needless to say, despite the weather, we're making the best of it.
Power outage in the Oak Complex has provided us with this beautiful ambiance. Candlelight. I wouldn't have it any other way.
They have generations. They're getting somebody's going to
Our friends actually live around here to get their generators.
This is one of the most fun weddings I've ever been to.
Me too.
I know everybody. I've met everyone.
I just want to say, Paul and Dawn, that this is not a total washout. Everyone is having a great time. The conversations are flowing. All of your close family and friends are here. And we love you. And years from now, you're going to look back at this and just laugh at everything that went wrong. Because it is kind of funny. But anyways, just enjoy yourselves. And we wish you the best. Love you guys.
I think that there was a very good reason for tonight's weather event because you're welcome. I think that tonight's events were for a reason because if you know Dawn well, you know that she puts her heart and soul into every detail for everyone else. And I think that when everything happened tonight and everything got turned around on Dawn, and it made Dawn step back and know that everything wasn't going to go in perfect order like she wanted it to, and that everybody stayed here and they stuck it out because they love you guys, and you can make pretty bows and pretty name tags to make other people happy, but it doesn't matter because everybody loves you for being who you are together, and that's why everybody's still here. So I think tonight happened to show you that you don't have to do that for people, Dawn and Paul. We're going to be here anyway. So I think it's beautiful, and I'm so happy that everybody stayed tonight. Everybody is so happy for you. We want you to enjoy this night. And I tell you one thing, nobody's ever going to forget it. We love you so much. Cheers. Cheers, you guys. Cheers.
I think we truly want the other person to be as happy as they can be. It's been so expensive, and it's been very time-consuming and stressful, and I know I'm gonna look back and wonder why in the world I worried about some of these things, but I wouldn't go back and change anything.
You know what? I have to say something. I love all you guys, and let's party.
The story isn't going to be complete. The story's going to go on for a lifetime. One day, you know, maybe we can try to sum it up some little bit, but I think it's perfect right now. The story doesn't need to come to an end. The story doesn't need to be summed up. We're gonna live on, and we're gonna have a blast. The future is looking very positive and very exciting.